May now request CMA Dr. Paritosh Basu, sir, for his keynote address. Sir is Senior Director Services at Strategility Consulting Private Limited. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for introducing me. With the permission of the chairman, can I talk moving around the place? I have a bad habit, so bad habits die hard, good habits die jaldi. So I have 12 slides and I have no agenda point. All slides are by themselves are agenda. So I'll open the discussion by a simple statement that we must hand over this earth to our next generation in a better manner, because when we inherited a better world than we are having it today. So if that has to be so, we must convert ESG, a revolution, both cultural and bloodless. It cannot be allowed to be just another agenda in the CEO's strategy points, which I will prove to you. At the moment, around the world it is like that. So quickly I will take you through the ascension analysis of this world. There are some research scholars all over the world called ascension analysts. These ascension analysts tell us how the world will look like as we go forward. The first analysis says we will be adding 1 billion more people under the sun and will soon reach 8.5 billion by 2030, maybe it could reach 9. Urbanization, 2/3 of the world will live in urban areas. So we will encroach not only the villages and the greenwoods, but we will also encroach the inhabitation of animals. Whatever we do in the world in future, there will be a huge demand for transparency. We can't do anything without transparency. We will see more such instances that Paris is having 47-degree temperature in the month of August. When I was in 1994 enjoying 16-degree temperature in London, that is 36 today. So climate crisis is going to be a huge problem. Resource pressure would be of two types: existing resource pressures, and second is new resource pressures like chip making resource. China is blocking it. So any resource which is required for the first time, or lithium ion battery, so that lithium, so all these will be a huge problem. Clean tech, zero energy, zero tolerance. The paint which is used for painting our house, perhaps that will not be acceptable anymore, because that silently emits gases. Technology shift will be in such a manner that we will be under direct control of 5 IoTs, and by 2030, 25 IoTs will be controlling us, including our refrigerator will be ordering our food, and our car is in any case under IoT now, because insurance premium is decided on a daily basis. Global policy would have to be very important, and it should be open. Hush-hush policies will not work in the world anymore. Moreover, radicalism and nationalism, whether we want or we don't want, will go ahead. Guys who taught us what is globalization, those guys are reverse taughting us nationalism. I don't want to talk about that country. Pandemics will be unprecedented and frequency will keep on increasing. Populism will not work anymore, but World War III will be fought where? Not by physical army or in air or in ocean. It will be first fought in cyberspace. And NATO has already declared that cyber crime is an enemy for them. Having said that, what is the clarion call? The clarion call is we have to be ESG intelligent organization, not ESG compliant organization. What is ESG intelligent organization? ESG, I will show you 4 approaches to ESG, and you will understand what I am talking about it. So the world will look like this. We shall continue to live in a VUCA-FU world. F and U has been added to VUCA. F is what? Fear of unknown. U is what? Unprecedentedness. In the ESG context, we have to be ready with anything and everything which will come in our way, because we do not know what is going to come in our way, right? That's why it is called VUCA-FU world. So FU has been added. So what is the situation today? What is the situation today all over the world? First we will talk about India. I have drawn some numbers from one of the best sources one can take it. It is CRISIL. CRISIL has studied, that typing is wrong, 586 organization of India, and I will take you through the first graph on the top. Indian score of these 586 companies, average G score, I am talking about the G score, governance score, is 66. Average A score of India at the up now is 50. Average ESG score in total is 54. What are these 586 organizations? They cover 95% of the equity world, equity of India. So we are having a reasonable combination of Indian companies where environment score is least 45 and governance score is better because of simple reason, but from 2013 Companies Act and IFRS and LODR has made us better boys than bad boys of old days. So corporate world is doing well in the case of governance, but extremely falling behind on the environment part. What is the scoring category of these 586 people? Look at what? Only 14 organization, which is 2.4%, they are in leadership category. And CRISIL has given a lot of comfort. What is the comfort? 71% to 100% score is being called as leadership, not 75 even. And weak category is 0 to 30, there are only 2. The guys who are falling in the main group, they are scoring 46 to 60. Do you think we will survive with 46 to 60 with this kind of E score? Answer is no. Below average is 71 organization and 108 is the number of organizations who are in the strong category. What is the problem with us? The problem with us, I am talking about India, that we are not disclosing. And guys who are disclosing, they are disclosing at their own sweet well. They don't know what to disclose because there is no world standard. So in the context of two things we have to improve. One is the score, second is the analysis of the score and finding reliable score, and the second one is disclosure. So from the perspective of this slide, CRISIL is conveying a measure and attitude and approach of Indian 586 company. What is happening in India? Is the world better? Let's look at the world position. Before that, I'll quickly share some other information. Only 8% companies of India's, 2/3 or more independent directors are there. That means we are governed by our in-house directors. Scope 3 emissions are published by only 63 organizations. Where is 586 and where is 63? Only 14 Indian companies are in the leadership category. Very poor position. Only 1/5 of the companies in our universe publish their sustainability report. Today we are 586. If we see the 586 companies in 2021, only 1/5 of them of 586 publish their position. So improvement is there, good beginning is there, but it's not achieving. One very interesting point here is 50% of companies, the CEO's remuneration is growth aligned. If CEO's remuneration is also ESG aligned, perhaps things should be better. How is the global position looking like? In globe, $2.7 trillion is under management by 2,900 ESG oriented funding organization. And this is the Davos paper. I am talking about a very authentic Davos paper. So where is the problem? The problem is coherent system for corporate disclosure. Where are we going behind? Tracking and measuring ESG commitment versus actual. The world is committing. People are saying that we are committing by 2030 we will not be using fossil fuel more than 50%. But who tracks it? If the country is committing, definitely the corporates are committing. Who is tracking? How the numbers are being created? And what is the standard for tracking? Lack of standardization on ESG scoring is leading to aggregate confusion. India is doing something, US is doing something, European Union is doing something, and that's what is happening. Japan is doing something, Korea is in its own way. What is the issue here? Greater attention is called towards how the data underlying ESG rating is generated. And there is no common metrics, there is no common standard. So if we are living in a world where IFRS is for accounting, aviation standard is for flying people, which one flight gone, 200 people dying, but we don't have, the world is sinking and there is a standard, even today. That's the scenario all around the world. If that is the scenario all around the world, what is our goal? This is what I am talking about. So long we were used to 3P bottom line: planet, profit and people. So about 10 years before, one new P got added, that's called product. Product bottom line. That means our product should be ESG compliant. 28% GST has been incorporated on gaming industry because may not be socially desirable product, I do not know, maybe one of the reasons. So refrigerators are being taken back when you are buying a new refrigerator because reverse or green logistics is playing. So product has becoming great. Comes prosperity. Prosperity means sustainability. If we are compliant with planet, profit, people and product, we should be able to prosper. We should not be like Fortune 500 companies, only 20 people survive after 20 years of Fortune 500 companies. I have studied failures of 42 Fortune 500 companies and presented in a Middle East and North Asia conference. If you study the reasons, you will be surprised. I have no time to talk about, I will talk later in some time. So prioritization of each fee factor should be specific to the industry, specific to the entity, and from the context of that, we should strive for inclusive growth, inclusive fortune, inclusive smile, and inclusive happiness. That means whatever ESG sanctions, whatever ESG standards, whatever ESG reporting we are doing, we should look at the lowest rung of the society, people are living there, we should think of them for reporting our ESG. If we do that, we shall achieve another P, which is the 6th P bottom line, that is peace. The ultimate objective of anything in this sun, under this sun, is to make people happy. So we should now have 6P bottom line, okay? I think all of you agree, and from this institute, we'll start propagating the theory of 6P bottom line. So what is to be done? The world is, look at the picture. As of now, there are 4 approaches. Sir, I have taken how much minute now? 10 minutes or? Okay, I'll finish in 10 minutes. I have researched a lot for this 12-slide representation, and I found out the world is now categorized under these 4 approaches. If you take the conformist approach, it means Majburi ki naam Gandhiji. What did it say? I believe in financial return and consider ESG as just a regulatory boundary. मेरा पिटाई होगा तो I must remain within the boundary. I must not put my finger on the fire that I have to do that. I am मजबूरी, अगर chance मिलता तो मैं कुछ भी कर लेता. That is the approach of conformist. Pragmatic approach, I believe that ESG is an important factor, that influences the firm's performance. So, I'm a selfish guy. I want to improve stakeholders' maximization of numbers. So, I take it that it's an important factor that influences my firm's performance. And here the firm's performance is profit and people, maybe product, not planet, not peace and prosperity, of course. So I am pragmatic. When I am strategic? I believe that ESG is a part of the firm's purpose and that it will ensure long-term success. So what is the word purpose? What do we mean by purpose? The difference between the word objective and the purpose is a long-term phenomena and objective is a short-term phenomena. Why do I pursue a purpose? I want to be peaceful in long run. Why do I pursue an objective? If I am successful in pursuing an objective, my ultimate goal of being peaceful in life is a purpose. So let objective not define the purpose, let purpose define the objective. It means we must understand that ESG is a purpose of the organization and it's not a boundary driven regulatory or a factor influencing. And finally, idealistic. I believe that ESG is my purpose and in living that purpose I can maximize sustainability. That is where we should look for, and anything which is sustainable is useful for all the stakeholders. So it is up to us, for the Institute of Cost Accountants of India and CMA sitting here, to tell the world whether we will be conformist or pragmatic or strategic or idealistic. Okay, so long we in this finance world, we are talking about only two bottom lines. One is the top line and one is the bottom line. Top line is our numbers and bottom line is our profit. Two lines and three P's. What is the next line we should talk about? Green line. Green profit: deliver sustainable products, reduce carbon footprint, be proactively compliant, report transparently. For that, of course, multilateral agencies like United Nations, like IMF, they should give us the standard. Let me tell you, in 1948 in Paris Conference, United Nations declared the human rights, 35 principles of human rights. Even today, those are being violated. The world has risen after a very, very long time to understand what is ESG. So, green line should be our culture. We should talk about not only top line and bottom line, we should talk about green line. So, if we have to talk about green line, what are the actions for us? First action is select the right organizational practices and align with the strategic part of the organization. The most important point is, whenever you have to make business, you have to create a business model and you have to create a revenue model. Now, business model and revenue model, when we plan for, we do not talk about 6P bottom line. We only talk about top line and 1P bottom line. So, we should be talking about product oriented top line and Baki 5P oriented bottom line. We should be having ESG intelligent organization, and for that I'll have a slide I'll talk to you. We must augment our capacity to synthesize the data which we generate through transactional systems of the company. We must convert data into knowledge. Now it's a very philosophical statement, or it's every people talk about it today. But very hardly any people know how to convert data into knowledge. Can I do it by Excel? Answer is yes. Can I do it by ERP? Answer is yes. Can I do it by AI? Answer is yes. Depends upon what volume of data we are handling. If we are handling such volume of data which people cannot, we should not shy away from using AI, artificial intelligence. Of course, after that we should use ML and DL, machine learning and deep learning. So apply the right digital technologies for the right purpose with ESG imperatives in mind. ESG is no longer an option. ESG is an imperative. So we are in industry 4.0. Technology is changing at an overwhelming process. It is giving us a lot of benefits. It is giving us a lot of difficulty. What the best thing you can do is to merge the physical, digital and biological world. Some of the offices are using my face to allow me to get entry. Some of the using my biometry to allow me the entry. What we are doing? The physical hand, biological footprint of mine and the computer has been merged together. Is that right? All of you agree? Correct, na? In ESG perspective, we have to talk about a man's 365 days peaceful living in mind. Where my industry is 100 kilometers around that, will my people live peacefully because of what nonsense we are doing? Certainly not. So we have to curate smarter generation of data, analyze those, keep into organization stakeholders into platform. Sir, I'll take 2 more minutes, I'm done. So blockchain platform for end-to-end management of compliance, management of governance, grants and subsidies, exchange of green bonds. Those are to be blockchain platform. In fact, I'm presently working on a research with one professor of Australia and one professor of US on this subject, collecting and monitoring of data from sensors, IoT, IIoTs, IoRTs, etc. ESG credentials. I have issued 20 carbon credit tokens. That should be definitely under blockchain because the world wants safe, transparent, secured technology elements, and blockchain perhaps only one thing can talk about it. I have talked about, of course, AI, ML, DL, human robots, robotic process automations, etc. can come on the way. So ESG is neither a lipstick project. What is lipstick project? Lipstick is equal to greenwashing. Sorry, girls don't mind. I don't want to decorate my organization by saying, hey, I'm ESG compliant, please listen to me. ESG is not a destination project. I take certain plans and be done with it. ESG is a journey. So we have to think of the journey. So what we have to do? We have to have one version of truth. Our all numbers should talk about one version of truth. The globe has to have a ESG standard. We should have an ACE agenda, and our institute has taken up this ACE agenda by introducing social audit and social reporting. We should have a top-driven ESG strategy because fish rots at the head. Our top should get up first and talk about it. Introduce objective measurement. What cannot be measured can't be controlled. That is what cost accountant says. Anything has to be objectively measured and objectively reported and objectively analyzed with a 6P bottom line in my mind. We should talk about target for social reporting. We should link compensation with the ESG metrics. We should sensitize our people that 5% of your salary will be also linked to ESG performance of your. And we should talk about impact of non-financial indicators on our financial performance. So ESG mostly are non-financial indicators. Our institute should talk about, there are about 100 non-financial indicators for ESG performance, how those can be objectively measured and put into either cost line or the bottom line. Transparency, consistency, and comprehensiveness of reporting. These are the very good things. We have sitting here, we should talk about all this, and perhaps I would have spent 2 hours on these few slides. I cannot talk much about it. Thank you very much indeed for your listening me. I promise that I'll continue to develop on these 12 slides, and whenever there is a call, I'll continue to contribute for ESG reporting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful presentation, sir.
By putting the entire thing into a very proper perspective, one thing which is very important from the last slide, see the non-financial indicators, it is actually a clue for us how we can play a very major role. Actually, in the Total Cost Management Committee of CAI, under Mr. Sheshagiri Rao, where the next speaker is going to talk, the importance was given to a bidimensional cost sheet, which doesn't talk about the value but the quantitative aspects, that is the non-financial indicators. Thank you.